So as a commercial real estate investor, HAR is absolutely critical for me, saving time, locating properties, and narrowing down viable properties immediately, and figure out exactly which one's the best to invest in before somebody else gets to it.
So I work in commercial real estate. One quiet Friday evening, I get a call. A man wants to see one of my retail centers after hours. No other tenants around. He's insistent, pushy even. Says it has to be tonight. He can't go any other time. Every instinct in me said, something's just not right. So before I agreed, I ran his name through forewarn. What came back stopped me cold. Armed robbery, assault, multiple felonies, guns, drugs, violence, over 25 counts. This man wanted me alone in a virtually empty building at night. I didn't go. Because forewarned gave me the truth. And maybe saved my life. In real estate, we meet strangers every day, but we don't have to meet them blind. Forewarned takes seconds, and it could be the difference between showing a property and not coming home. So know before you go.
Hey everyone, Jeremy Fain here, your 2025 HAR Engage Advisory Group Chair. I've got some exciting news. Tickets for 2025 HAR Engage Conference are officially on sale. This is the event to recharge your business, gain fresh insights, and connect with incredible professionals across our industry. Whether you're just starting your real estate journey or you're a seasoned pro, HAR Engage has something for everyone. Plus, with countless networking opportunities, you'll connect with tons of like-minded real estate professionals. Don't wait, grab your tickets now at har.com/engage and get ready to be inspired. I'll see you there.
Realtors, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is on November 20th.
At the Houston Community Collective from 9:30 to 3:30. It's the 2025 Housing Symposium, and it's going live.
The theme, mission, possible. The challenge, Houston's housing market. The objective, actionable strategies and real results.
You'll hear from expert speakers, dive into panel discussions, and get insights from the leaders shaping the future of housing.
Network with the top professionals, tackle critical issues, and leave ready to make an impact. Every move counts.
So mark your calendars. Gear up. The 2025 Housing Symposium, Mission Possible.
And remember, failure is not an option.
I think when I started using HAR.com, it just felt a lot more local. So having that local approach with more information about living in this area, that was important, information that I wasn't seeing elsewhere. I found my dream home. I love living here, and it's all because of HAR.com.
Hello and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media and Sponsorships for HAR. Today we are talking about a big shift that's helping realtors tap into the commercial real estate space. For the first time, CommGate commercial listings are now visible on HAR.com, making it easier for both agents and consumers to discover commercial opportunities across our region. Joining me today is Anthony Petry. He is the Senior Account Manager with CommGate. He's going to walk us through what this means for HAR members, what CommGate offers beyond listings, and how you can get involved with some upcoming opportunities. Welcome to the program, Anthony.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I know you've been on our program before, but it's been a little while. For anyone who hasn't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, I've been part of HAR's commercial team for a long time, since 2007. So if we're doing the math there, that's 18 years. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, I was with the Austin Board of Realtors. I used to live in Austin. I worked for ABOR for about 5 years before that. So all in all, in the realtor world for 23 years. It's kind of weird saying that, but it's true.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I know you do a lot for CommGate. We'll talk about some of those opportunities and things that are available because it's really so many offerings. But for those familiar, let's just start from the basics here. What is CommGate and who is it designed to serve?
Great question. So yes, so CommGate is the commercial division of HAR.com. So we are, part of the HAR umbrella, very much like MLS and some of the other services that we provide. We are a commercial unit within HAR that's designed to help people work in commercial real estate. So we do offer a consumer-facing version of the website called CommGate.com. So you can think of that like HAR.com is for the consumer, right? Anybody can go to HAR.com and find a home available for sale or for lease. And anybody can go to CommGate.com and find a commercial property available for sale or for lease. But again, I mean, we do have a back-end website. So think of it, when you make the comparison between HAR.com versus Matrix, it's the same sort of thing where we've got a consumer-facing version and then a back-end version designed for agents and brokers to add properties, run reports, and so on.
Very good. Thank you so much for explaining that. Now, a big recent announcement was that commercial listings are now visible on HAR.com. Can you explain how exactly that works and why is that so significant?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge jump for us. I guess I can give you the history here. So when we first launched CommGate, and this was before I was part of the team, when the CommGate system was first getting off the ground, we have advisors who are commercial practitioners who thought, well, let's keep this website separate and apart from HAR so there isn't any confusion. And so CommGate was sort of siloed off, as its own thing for commercial people with commercial properties. But during that time, up to today, HAR is a household name now, right? Everybody knows HAR.com. And so we are leveraging that popularity and shipping commercial listings to that site. Mm-hmm. So when you visit HAR.com today, right below the address search, there's tiles that run across the page. One of those new tiles is commercial properties. And so when you click that tile, that launches a site, HAR.com/CommGate, where you're viewing a commercial property search, still within the HAR framework, but you're looking at commercial properties now.
Wonderful.
So
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
The big thing there is that gives consumers, people who are looking at HAR.com, it gives them the ability to sort of toggle back and forth between residential properties and commercial properties. So whether that consumer is searching for a house, or they're looking for some land, or maybe they want an office, or they want a retail investment property, they can find each one of those properties now on HAR.com.
That is really exciting. Thank you so much for sharing that, Anthony. We do have some comments coming in. Tracy Henderson said, thank you so much for this access. Another comment that just says, so happy about this. And then we're going to have a few questions coming in as well. So if you have questions for Anthony, type those into the comments and we'll get to as many as we can. Now, I would imagine a lot of our audience that's tuned in today are residential real estate practitioners. So what does this mean for them? What do realtors need to do to have their commercial listings appear on HAR.com? Good
question. So I guess to be clear, CommGate isn't going away, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's a different platform designed for commercial properties. So the whole reason why we don't have commercial in the platform Matrix is because that's a program that's really designed for residential properties. The other program that we use, Moody's Analytics, is designed for commercial properties. And so that's not going away. So what it means is you still add your listings to CommGate, and when you add those listings to CommGate, yes, they get displayed on CommGate.com, and they also get shipped over and republished to HAR.com. Mm-hmm. So you're getting the best of both worlds and really hitting two different sets of audiences by having the listings on both of those websites and more. We publish those listings to other websites as well, but those are the two big ones.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. Now we have a question that came in from Demetria. She said, how does CommGate differ from info in LoopNet, or is it just a different manufacturer? And an example she gave here is Ford versus Chevy.
Good question. Yeah, so I mean, it is different. So I think what's different in the commercial world is we see, different companies with different products, for advertising listings. I think the biggest difference is we're sort of hitting all the key targets rather than offering different products. So with companies like LoopNet and a few others, those are designed to do one or two things. LoopNet, for example, is an advertising space. You add a listing, they don't call them listings on their site, you're adding an advertisement, right? So you're just paying for an advertisement so that people can find your property. Whereas in CommGate, think of it like Matrix, right? Where it's not just finding available properties, but you can look up comps. You can run a CMA style report. You can run other reports. You can do a multitude of things with that one platform rather than one or two things that some of the other sites are offering. So it is different, but it's kind of a unique product on its own.
Okay, very good. We've got some more questions rolling in that I want to tackle, and again, we'll get to as many as we can. Now, one of the questions that I think is probably on a few people's minds, so you mentioned, CommGate is a separate thing. Someone is asking, Sing Shores Realty Group here is asking, does CommGate have a separate membership? So can you clarify how that works?
Yes. So it's, again, CommGate is one of the many products that HAR offers. And so you don't have to sign up for CommGate, but it's available there when you need it. So yes, I mean, the short answer to the question is yes, it is a separate membership from MLS and from HAR. But there are no long-term commitments. So you can pay as you go, if you will. We do have options for a pay as you go where you're just on a month-to-month service. You do get better pricing if you sign up for a quarterly membership or an annual membership. But again, the service is there to sort of be flexible when you need it. We realize that a lot of residential realtors, come across a commercial listing every now and then. And so the service is available when they need it, and then they can cancel when they don't need it, and then they can come back whenever they're ready again. So again, we have some flexible options there for people who are just getting into commercial real estate.
Excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. A few other questions here. Sheila asked, do we sign in with our HAR credentials? So if we're looking at HAR.com and we're looking at listings on HAR.com, typically we recommend our members sign in with their credentials. Is there a difference if they're signed in or not looking at those commercial listings, Anthony?
No, there isn't. I mean, you could sign in with your credentials, but the level of information that you're getting on that public-facing website isn't going to be different if you were logged out of the system. But yes, I mean, when you are a member of the commercial service of CommGate and you log into that site, which would have its own user credentials, then yes, you do get a different experience, and you do have more information available to you after you sign in.
Very good. Thank you. And that I think answers Nicholas's question here as well. So becoming a CommGate subscriber, if you will, gives them more access, the data that consumers cannot see, similar to your access to Matrix, right?
That is correct. Right. So, I mean, number one being on the consumer-facing website, you're only going to find available properties. Whereas when you log into the system, you can see what's available and what's sold or leased, days on market, and again, just a multitude of reports, including a CMA-style report, and maps and flood maps and things of that nature.
Very good. Thank you so much. I think we had a few more questions coming in, but I wanted to get to a question. So we're talking about the CommGate subscription, and it's separate now. Can realtors still search for commercial properties on HAR.com, and share or promote those commercial listings without being a CommGate subscriber, similar to sharing a residential listing from HAR.com to social media or email or what have you?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, I mean, it's republishing the listings to HAR.com is very new. It's something that we just launched. And so I had a realtor call me up and say, hey, I've got one of my clients was asking me about a commercial property, and he sent me a link from HAR. Like, what is this, and how does this work? And so, I mean, that really warmed my heart. I mean, that's exactly what we want. Yes, we want people to share listings. You have the heart option where you can like listings. You can promote those listings from the HAR website. Yes, that's exactly what you can do and what it's designed to do.
Okay, very good. Thank you. A few people were asking about comps and running comps. Within CommGate, are there features that allow them to run comps?
Yes. Now, commercial properties are different. And so, again, just one of those clarifying remarks here. So CommGate is not an MLS. MLS has its own set of rules and regulations. And so the commercial system is set up separate and apart with a different set of rules and regulations. And so in MLS, disclosure of sales price is mandatory. However, in the commercial system, it isn't mandatory. Now, some agents do give us that information. They do disclose because they understand the value of disclosing that information. There are some big firms out there, big commercial firms that never disclose sales prices to anyone because that's just a policy they have. However, people who have sort of grown up in a residential tradition understand that this is important. This is an important thing to let other agents and brokers out there know what's happening in the market, so that they can price their properties accordingly, and that we're all on the same page. So I guess that's a long way of me to say, yes, there are comps in the system, but when you're running a report, when you're running a search, let's say for sold transactions, you will have some properties that say undisclosed price and others that will have a disclosed price. And so what you do in that instance is you just check the ones that you do want, and then you run your report on those properties that do have a disclosed sales price.
Okay, very good. A few people are asking for the differences between CommGate, LoopNet, and Crexi, and also Amber here is asking, will we see properties if someone puts it in LoopNet, for example?
Good question. So I guess the answer to the first question is the listings don't sync. So we aren't sharing information with LoopNet or Crexi. However, we are gathering information across the board. So we have a research team that's part of CommGate that is finding out the activity of members and non-members alike. So for example, let's take downtown Houston, for example. Some of the brokerages that are advertising space in those buildings are members, and some of them are not members. And so for those non-members, we are still gathering the information from them so that when you as a member log into the system, you can see a true picture of what's available and the history of what's happening in the marketplace. So we are gathering that information, but it doesn't get published to other websites.
Okay. Very good, thank you. And just to clarify one more time, because a few people were asking, CommGate is a separate subscription from the MLS subscription, but now the exciting news that Anthony's sharing with us is you can see those commercial properties on HAR.com. You can share them and promote them from there and search for them as consumers do. Anything that you want to add there, Anthony?
No, that's exactly right. I mean, yes, it is a separate subscription. You don't have to subscribe to search the consumer-facing website, whether that's on CommGate.com or HAR.com. That's available to the public for everyone to see and to share. But to log into the platform and add your own listing and run your own detailed reports, yes, that does require a subscription.
Okay, great. Now, you mentioned already about the comps that are available. What other types of tools or services does CommGate offer that can help realtors in the commercial space?
Good question. So I think one of the things that I really like about the system is when you add a listing, you can see the traffic to that listing. So the number of times that people look at that listing. And what we're counting there are detailed page views, not impressions. So there are other companies out there, we mentioned some of them earlier, where they really tout the number of impressions. But impressions aren't really a great measure, in my view. So if you're on, say LinkedIn, like I am, LinkedIn will send me emails to tell me, oh, I've had like 1,000 impressions. But I mean, that doesn't mean someone looked at my profile. It just means that my name came up in a search, or they just randomly, found my name, but they didn't click on it. Same with the impressions for listings. It doesn't mean that someone clicked on your listing. It just means that it appeared on the screen. So what CommGate does is it delivers the actual number of page views. So if we have a listing at, 123 Main Street, it'll say you've had 50 views, and it'll give you a date and time stamp of each one of those views. Then apart from that, there's a leads view where it'll tell you not just the number of people, but it'll give you the actual contact information. So if that person is a subscriber to CommGate, it automatically collects their information based on their login, and it will deliver it to you that Anthony Petry viewed your listing at on October 1st at whatever time. And so you will have a catalog of all the people who have viewed your listing. Consumers as well, because when the consumer reaches your listing, they get a preview, but once they try to hit the detailed view, it'll stop them and say, okay, if you want to view more information about this listing, please provide your name, your telephone number, and your email address. And again, it captures that information. And so as they're looking at your listing and other people's listings, it lets those agents know, here's the people who have viewed your listing.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anthony. There was a couple people asking, where exactly do we find this on HAR.com? So can you repeat that to us for those people that are wondering?
Yeah, so HAR.com, from that homepage, the consumer-facing version, HAR.com, right below the address search, there are tiles with like open house and newly listed. One of them is commercial properties. And so that commercial properties is the link that will take you to a new page, har.com/CommGate. And you can even bypass that first step if you want and just type in the URL, har.com/CommGate with two M's, CommGate, and that will take you to the commercial properties search page.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, there was a question, I think, from Steph that came in, kind of talking about just kind of market competency and practicing residential versus commercial. Are there differences in how agents should approach commercial versus residential real estate?
Absolutely. Yes, commercial real estate is just a different animal from residential. It follows the same principles. However, it's different. And there's even a bit of a language barrier because we just use different terminology in commercial real estate that's separate and apart from residential. A broker told me many years ago that he called it an 80-20 rule, that in residential real estate, 80% of that purchase is an emotional purchase, and 20% of that purchase is a financial decision. Whereas in commercial, it's the opposite. 80% of that transaction is a financial decision, maybe even more than that. And then 20% or less is emotional. Because if it doesn't make financial sense for a business, then it doesn't make sense at all. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the terminology that's used in commercial real estate has to do with financial terminology, cap rates and such things such as that sort of set it apart from residential real estate.
Very good. And a few people are still asking. Again, it's har.com/CommGate, and I went ahead and put that link in the comments for you so you can directly take a look at that website for those that are still looking for it. Now, Anthony, of course, we're all about education. We like talking about education. It's so important. What educational resources or training does CommGate provide for someone who wants to get more involved in commercial transactions?
Yes, I mean, I would definitely say that's the place to start is with education, classroom education and education with a mentor. I mean, talk to someone who works in commercial real estate. And if you have a client who wants commercial real estate or has a commercial property that they want help with, get the assistance of someone who's seasoned in commercial real estate, because again, it's different, and it's different enough that you do need some help, at least early on. Mm-hmm. And then as far as classroom education, we have a number of classes available. So I think coming up first, we have a course that we put together with CCIM. It's Introduction to Commercial Real Estate. That gives a very broad overview of just how commercial real estate is different and some of the different sectors in commercial real estate. Mishika Guillory is a fantastic instructor. She offers a number of courses with us. The flagship is the TACS, that's Texas Accredited Commercial Specialist. That's a series of courses, 3 courses, three bundles really. I mean, they're 30-hour courses apiece, but that is sort of a foundational approach that goes through each and every facet of commercial real estate. And then there are just a number of other courses that are available, contracts courses, other things like that would be, I think, beneficial for you to understand in commercial real estate.
Very good. It sounds like you guys are making it as easy as possible for anyone to kind of jump into the commercial space, whether they're brand new to real estate or if they've been working the residential side for a while. Now they're starting to venture into commercial. So very good. And are there any upcoming events or networking opportunities that realtors should know about?
Yes. In fact, this Wednesday, we have an event, Economic Outlook 2025 Economic Outlook with economist Ted Jones. He's a former chair of HAR. And so he will be our keynote speaker on October 15th at the Houston Country Club from 3 to 6. If you want more information about that program, you can visit CommGate.com. We've got a big promo flyer on the homepage. You can click there and find out more.
Very good. And I'm sure we'll share a link to that in the comments for everyone as well. Anthony, this has been great. You've really kind of opened our eyes to what's going on in the commercial space, and I think provided some helpful resources for those that are wanting to get started. Now, if there is a member that wants to get started with CommGate, where is the very first place to begin? What would your suggestion be?
Well, call HAR. So call HAR, talk to one of the CommGate representatives. We're happy to help you. We are always available to assist. And I think for the people who are brand new, a lot of times they have questions that they might be afraid to ask because they don't want to sound unknowledgeable. Mm-hmm. No fears here. No worry about that. Call us, ask us questions. Again, we're happy to help. We're happy to be a resource to you. So, I mean, obviously we can't give you legal advice. If you have legal questions, that's where we sort of stop. But questions about commercial real estate, where to start, what to do, absolutely, we can help you.
Very good. I saw this question come up a couple times, so I want to make sure we address it. And another clarifying question here, if we can. Terry is saying, can you keep CommGate listing private or separate from MLS? They are, right, Anthony?
Yes, they are, very much so. They are separate and apart from MLS. When you are advertising, I think Terry could be asking about keeping a listing private, as in it doesn't get displayed to the consumer. Yes, there is an option for that within the platform itself.
Very good. Excellent. Well, Anthony, this has been very informative. We've got people saying great information. Thank you for this. I see some hand clapping emojis. So we really appreciate all of this valuable information you shared today.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. So as we all heard, commercial real estate is more accessible forever for realtors. There's tools, listings, and a lot of education to help you get into the business. So whether you're already working commercial or just getting started, now's a great time to explore. Before we go, I do want to announce that next week we will be joined by HAR's Director of Professional Development, Rita Blevins. This month is Professional Development Month, so she is going to talk to us about how realtors can grow in their proficiency, their marketing and leadership skills with various programs that we offer here at HAR. So be sure to tune in next Monday at 9 a.m. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.